we have lost money on this marketing channel over the last quarter. And then that made us go look at the last 6 months, the 9 months, and a year, gave us the ability to make a change when we needed it. Amy looks at different KPIs than I do because we do have different focuses within the businesses. Um, some of the just common ones that because I mainly work with the acquisitions side of our um, REI business, I focus on leads. When did leads come in? Are they coming in during the hours that we think that they're going to? Do they come in? Are we getting more on weekends than what we're expecting? Do we have a lull? Tracking those kinds of things. Um, what is our ratio between new new leads and new qualified leads? We may get 20 phone calls, but five of them are spam. Well, we don't want to count those as real leads. We really want to focus on our qualified leads. And then also talk time, number of calls, average call length, number of text messages in, number of text messages out on our acquisition team, um, what percentage of leads become an appointment, and then what percentage of those become a contract. That way we can kind of predict what's going to happen in the future with some sort of accuracy. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. I can't say next Tuesday we're going to get three contracts. Um, but we can look at things in different time spans and be able to have a decent forecast.
Yeah, so I'm gonna nerd out a little bit. I feel somewhat passionate about KPIs. I feel like KPIs are pivotal for your business. We all hear we need to look at them, and everybody wants to share which KPIs they're looking at. But I think people don't realize the power of the KPIs or why they need to look at them. Perception versus reality is a big thing for me. I don't know how many times you'll hear, oh, this person's not working. And then you look and they made 100 calls in 2 days, or this person isn't doing this or is doing that. And the data doesn't lie. You can manipulate data, but if you're truly looking at it without bias, it doesn't lie. You can see if people are working. And I mean, some people are more efficient. They can make calls faster, or maybe it's they're spending too much time on the phone, or they're talking too much on phone call. There's things like that that data can show you. And so I think it's super powerful. Um, One thing I noticed with my property manager is I have a KPI. I call it unrealized rent, and it's all the rentals that are vacant that are in her possession to rent. So it's not ones that need a rehab. This is literally they're either listed or somebody moved out and we haven't done the make ready yet. But she sees that number every day. And as it creeps up, it makes her like, oh my gosh, I got to get this rented. So that it kind of creates an urgency. But one of the reasons why I'm super passionate is I think decisions in general are emotional, but if we can put the data behind, we can drive our decisions to be less emotional. And I think business decisions, I can't talk, business decisions should be less emotional and more data driven. So if you have the KPIs and you can look at them, and like I look at mine daily, but I have different KPI boards. So there might be some I'm tracking monthly trends or quarterly trends or yearly trends. And there's some I'm looking at every day. But if you have that data there, you can make a decision that makes sense for your business more than an emotional one. I think where we get in trouble is this sounds good or this shiny object syndrome type thing. And you make a decision and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But when you have the
Mhm.
data there and you make the decision, you feel more confident in it too.
Yeah, and how often do we hear people at different meetings um, say that they're about to stop this, whether it's mail or pay per click or cold calling or whatever marketing channel it is, and somebody will ask, well, what's your return on ad spend? And they're like, oh, I have no idea. Well, let's find that out before you make any changes because you may only be getting 10% of your uh, leads from that one channel, and your cost per lead may be high, but your profit may be way better on that than others. Um, We've had times where we had the opposite, where we thought one of our marketing channels was doing great. I mean, we just foregone conclusion it had to be. And then we got into our KPIs when we were really working on them and went, oh my God, this is horrible. We have lost money on this marketing channel over the last quarter. And then that made us go look at the last 6 months, the 9 months, and a year, and gave us the ability to make a change when we needed it.